So, a real life example. I am very addicted to sugar and sweets. And I know that every time I eat, I feel bad. And then I go through many phases in life where I'm like, okay, I've distanced myself from it, or I have more control of it. But then I go back and I eat. And then I know in my body that I don't feel good. I feel low energy. I feel like my thoughts are just all over. But then I go and I do it again.
So what you'll begin to notice when you dissect it from the behavior, or even the thought about the behavior, and you start caring about the way you feel. So clarity becomes really important to you. Then you find yourself in a state of confusion, and you relate the confusion to the sugar, and you say, what I'm really wanting is the clarity. Then some momentum begins that is a bit more powerful. We want to tell you about addictions. Our friend talked about it the very first thing today. Your body is a veritable chemical factory, and it is vibration based. The vibrational chemistry of your body is what produces the chemistry of your body. And the chemistry of your body is almost completely orchestrated by source, in the same way that life force is imbued as you come into this physical body. That spirit, that attention to this physicality. Start again, we can say this better. Creation is about focus, and your physical body is a creation that was created by attention from non-physical primarily. This train of thought, this sequence of words, is to help you to feel the perfection with which you are understood from non-physical and set into motion. Also, we want to say that the cells of your body, trillions of them, are in concert conversation with that source energy intention. And that's why the magnificence of the physical body is what it is. It is incredible. You have not begun to capture or understand this magnificent body, its creation and its maintenance. But here you are. You said, I'll come and I'll sift and I'll sort. And so you ingest something, and your inner being doesn't freak out and say, well, you're on your own now. Your inner being continues to look for the path of least resistance. Always your inner being is looking for the path of least resistance, which is the path of most allowance, which is the path of your greatest benefit. And so as your cells participate in this, whatever it is that you've ingested, the information that's coming to them is always calling them in the direction of well-being. And so that results in what humans would notice is a compensation in your body. You don't just kill over from the introduction of something. Your body adapts to it because of the relationship that you have with your inner being, who helps you to continue to thrive anyway. So in your adaptive phase, as the cells of your body adapt to it, that translates to you as a craving. Let's make two conversations out of this one conversation. Seems like the conversation is eating something that doesn't agree with me. That's one conversation. That's the cells physically adapting. But the other conversation is the connecting of the dots later. As your cells adapt, and they do, then the result of the way you feel is not as clear as it was before they were having to do this adapting thing, because the communication between your cells and your inner being is not like it was. Does this make sense to you? Mm-hmm. So if you, in a determined way, we're not recommending this, we're just saying this. If in a determined way you say, no more sugar for me, and you go 3 days, only 3 days with no sugar, the addictive feeling properties will dissipate. The residue will dissipate because you have not reactivated it. But there's another reason that you are eating the sugar. Now, what is that? When alignment is the tastiest thing that you can find, other things become less important. And so what we're going to be rather blunt about is those things that you feel drawn to that feel like they've tracked you in addiction, you're always on that end of the stick when you feel called to them. You're depressed, you're tired, something hasn't gone well, and so you turn to that, and then the continuation of the creation is unpleasant. So when you let go of it because of the unpleasantness of the physicality rather than because of the fogginess of the emotion, then it doesn't last very long. That's why you keep going back and keep going back and keep going back. What you all are wanting, what every person wants, no matter what it is, material object, an improved bodily condition, a relationship, a pile of money, it doesn't matter what it is. It's because you think you will feel better in the having of it. And you know what it is you're reaching for that makes you feel better? Alignment. And so it's easy to be all off track. If you're not thinking about alignment and pretty much only about alignment, then you get off on all kinds of tracks. And you try this, and you try this, and you try this, and you try this, until you have confused the chemistry of your body to the point that you don't quite know what to do because you're looking for action and words rather than alignment, which will guide you. Does that make sense? When you're tuned in, tapped in, and you're there often enough and long enough, then the impulses come to you. And you might be introduced to something and it tastes good and everybody's doing it and you want to do it too and you don't notice it right away. But after a little while, you'll get an impulse. You'll have an awareness. I feel a little diminished. And you'll be able to pinpoint exactly what the culprit is. Really, this is a strong statement. If you could be in complete and utter alignment with your inner being, because your thoughts are so focused toward that feeling of alignment that you've just managed to accomplish the vibrational recipe for alignment, it wouldn't matter what you ate because your alignment would compensate for it. Your cell's ability to communicate with source is so in place because of what you're doing vibrationally that nothing else matters. But it's a harder way of going about it.